Steven Cudeño, KOR Sports. We're here with Robert Garcia. Man, I feel like last time I saw you was in Arizona for BAM. Yeah, incredible performance. Let's just kind of talk about that first. I mean, BAM just looked brilliant, man. It was a brilliant fight too, possibly fight of the year, I feel like, so far. It really was that kind of, the tale as old as boxing is, right? Like the Hall of Famer, still has some left, you know what I mean, against the young lion. BAM came out, dropped him. Guile kind of surprised BAM, popped him in the mouth, put him in, BAM got up smiling already. It was just, and then BAM, finished the show. Just talk about BAM's performance and just how impressed and just excited for him that you were.
Well, you know what, it honestly didn't surprise me. BAM's performance didn't surprise me because I know what he can do. I know what he's got. I see him in the gym. I have him since he was a kid. So that didn't surprise me. I think he was, in his mind, he already knew what he was going to go do. He did get dropped. It actually that did surprise me, but I think it was the best thing that could have happened. Now that he's up there fighting the best in the world, he needs to learn that also. There's times where you can get too confident, can't think it's already an easy fight, because fighters like Gallo, fighters with experience, they always have those tricks, those punches that could land and catch you right in the spot, and you're gonna go down. So I'm glad that it happened. He learned from it, and he already said it that was the best thing that could happen to him. So I'm excited. I'm happy, but I'm excited for what's coming in the future for him.
Speaking of that, before we get off of BAM, I recently heard an interview with Chocolatito, and he kind of opened the door a little bit, you know what I mean? He was kind of like, hey, I might be willing to fight the kid, you know what I mean, depending on what happens. I feel like that's good news, right? That'd be the end of the Four Kings with that one.
Of course, you know what? I think Chocolatito has so much experience, throws so much punches that it won't be an easy fight. But it's going to be between them, Mr. Honda, obviously, who doesn't want that fight. But yeah, of course, I wouldn't mind doing it. There's also Puma Martinez, who just became unified champion. All those fights, I already talked to Maidana and the team. They're willing to do it. As of right now, it looks like we're going to do the rematch, because we did have a rematch clause, and I think Gallo is going to want that fight. So hopefully that happens before the end of the year. For next year, there's so many options, like with Chocolatito, unifying against Puma, or even the WBO champion who is willing to fight also. So, BAM said it in the interview after the fight. He wants to become undisputed at 115 and then maybe move up to 118.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens with the kid. Man, you going on to the why we're here, right? Vergil Ortiz against Serhii Bohachuk. This is a tough fight, man. I feel like both of these guys have issues getting opponents, and when the phone rings, when they hear it's Vergil, like, no thanks. Same with Bohachuk. But I feel like this was like the match made in heaven, with both of you guys being like, yeah, let's do it.
It is a tough fight. Both are very strong. Bohachuk is his record says that he only has one decision, the rest all by knockout. But so does Vergil. Vergil has all his wins by knockout. So it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a war. I do believe it's going to end by knockout. So the fans are going to enjoy. One of those fights where you can't leave to go to the bathroom, to go buy a beer. You have to be ready, because it could go out. It could go out in the first round. It could go out in the last round. But I do believe it won't go the distance.
I agree. I think I talked to both of them, and they both kind of said the same thing. Like, this is like, it's guaranteed fireworks. Vergil told me something about that. He's always works hard. I've always heard from the gym, people in the gym, he's like one of the hardest workers in there. But he kind of said something scary. He was like, man, I feel like he's like the kids say, I'm locked in. He's like, I feel like he was kind of making it seem like it's like I want this more than any of the other ones. Do you see that difference, having had him for as long as you have?
Oh yeah, you could see it since when he steps into the ring. He's the first one in the gym. Everybody, he's scheduled to start at 10. He gets there at 9:20, because he's there to do to become a champion. That's the only thing in his mind. He's training, I don't want to say harder than ever, because we have to hold him back, actually, because he loves to train. He loves to train hard. We're doing a great job with sparring. His dad, Hector, myself, my son Pita, we're all doing this together, and our nothing else in my mind but to make him a world champion next month.
Just, man, want to get some boxing stuff. Obviously, we had, Cepeda knock out Cabrera. That was a good fight. Cabrera's a tough guy. Issa couldn't even, knock out Cabrera. And then, on the other end, you had Shakur in a decision win. He's getting a lot of heat for it. Do you believe that the heat that Shakur gets is like valid, or is it just maybe people not appreciating what he does, or I don't know? What's your take on it?
You know what? I think Shakur is probably one of the most talented fighters in the world. Pound for pound, talent-wise, he might be one of the most, if not the best, one of the best. But his fights, don't get that excitement. Maybe he doesn't hit that hard. Maybe he just worries too much about on his defense. But talent-wise, he's one of the most talented fighters in the world. So I appreciate it. I love watching his fights because the talent is there. He just needs to maybe push a little more to maybe give the fans a little more excitement. But at the same time, he's going to go out there to risk things that he shouldn't. So I wouldn't, for him, just keep doing your fights. 10, 20 more fights they have. At the end of the day, you could end up returning undefeated, making a lot of money. So why worry about what the fans are saying? At the end of the day, it's just going to be him, his family, and that's it. Right. So I wouldn't do any changes. I wouldn't change anything. I think he's one of the most talented fighters in the world. So just keep it like that.
No, I understand. I agree with you. It's keeping in that division. It seems like we're going to get, Tank versus Loma at the end of the year. I know you're a big fan of Roman Chocolatito. He's worked out in your gym in Ontario. He did just win a world title against Cambosis. He is a little older, but I don't know. I hear people saying, maybe he's slipping. I don't see it a whole lot. I still think Loma's still great. Stylistically, how does Loma need to attack Gervonta to, can maybe avoid the big bomb dropping?
You know what? Loma's a very smart fighter. Loma has so much experience. He's got a great team behind him. I think Loma has a great chance. I think 4 or 5 years ago, I would give Loma a better chance because Tank is just too strong. But Loma could actually take advantage of Tank starting so slow and most of the times giving out the first 4 or 5 rounds. So Loma could take advantage of that and then fight smart in the last few rounds. So I give him a big chance. At this time of his career, I probably pick Tank, but I wouldn't be surprised if Loma pulls it off.
If you do, saying you do kind of lean a little more Tank, is that by knockout? Because like you did say, Tank does give away a couple of the first rounds trying to figure it out, right? But do you think he figures it out enough to get him out of there, or is it more of a he'll figure out enough to start maybe throwing with him and then just looking better to a decision?
He does have the power to knock him out. He has the power to knock anybody out, so it could happen. But I would hate to see Loma get knocked out. I think it'll probably be a decision because Loma's so smart too, very defensive. So he probably, if it's by decision, I wouldn't want to see Loma get knocked out. Honestly, I would hate to see that.
It'd be sad.
It would be sad. Yeah, definitely.
Robert, appreciate the time, man. As always, thank you so much, brother. Thank you.